need no introduction now.
Thank you. First of all, I'm the last speaker, so you can all get home in a minute. But as I'm last, I thought I'd talk for an hour, actually. I thought the 6 minute thing. No, seriously, well done to all the speakers before me, because this is really tough. I speak for 40 minutes at stuff here and there, and doing 6 minutes per slide is an absolute nightmare when I started to look at this. Today I'm just going to talk a little bit about who we are, about us, and then lessons learnt along the way in terms of the business that we are. I founded Extreme in 1995. We're a collection of businesses and services and licenses, and I literally started it from a room about the size of this stage, and we've grown that business from where it was in a room 12, 14 years ago to a collection of brands. I started the Extreme Sports channel, which is on Sky. Had that idea from a TV distribution business we originally founded. We have a collection of stores, about 9 of those running at the moment. An online mail order retail business, Extreme Pie. We have a chain of hotels I'm going to talk about later. A restaurant chain, experience business, so on and so forth. So started in a barn, literally in a barn in 1995. Collection of 22 fast-moving businesses. With amazing people running them, operating in 70 countries, and as I said, it's normally when I talk about this stuff, you can delve a little bit deeper into the various bits and pieces, but it is really difficult to do this. Actually, it has to be said. Define our concept, find our point of differentiation, and then and drive the strategy that will make it work, and then we actually get out there and do it. And I think getting out there and doing it is key to part of what we're about, and so on and so forth. We use a dual strategy of taking the brand that we created from the television channel, which is in 68 countries, and then using that to drive forward. So what do we believe in? The brand and what it stands for: vision, passion, irreverence, and freedom. Doing things differently, offering people something new and giving real value for money, with great service. Giving equity and ownership to the teams running each of our companies. Wearing flip-flops in the office. Everyone, ultimately, in terms of how I operate, everybody's inspired and understands the brand and what we stand for. I try and lay out a clear vision, ultimately, on where we're going and what's happening, and a clear strategy for the various teams. One of the things that I try and do is work side by side with these teams and try and listen as much as possible, if that makes sense. So working with those people, driving things forward, and listening is one of the key things I think that I try and do as much as possible, but I'm not great at it either. Execution in the different businesses that you saw earlier is delegated to key management teams. So moving on to lessons I've learned. And I'm sure there may be a number of people that think about setting up a business along the way in this room. Number one is think about, when you're doing that, think about a brand. Think about creating a brand, and with that brand, then you can use it to drive things forward, and so on and so forth. I stumbled into this to a degree. People and equity and ownership. The other thing that I truly believe in terms of all our different businesses is giving equity and ownership in the businesses to the various different people. It's far better to have a smaller piece of a bigger pie than it is to have a big piece of a small pie, in my view. And I've really driven that home in the various different businesses. Innovation. We looked at time and watches, and this is a license relationship we have with a watch company based out of Australia. And we said, hey, we don't want to just do a standard watch. We took a carabiner, the rip and clip, and we linked this in with the scissors and the knife and so on and so forth to make an innovative watch. Water. Once again, we looked at water from a branding perspective and said, hey, if we're going to do water, rather than just doing the standard water, etc., we could take a hip flask, put a clip on it, create a mold, and so on and so forth. And in fact, we won the Bottled Water Awards in Paris, which much to the surprise of Evian and Perrier, where we made quite a lot of noise. So don't be afraid to aim high. One of the things, I launched a TV channel, that became hugely successful. We then looked at hotels, and we now have 7 hotels we've signed on a management contract, and this was our first hotel in Cape Town. And really that message was, if you've got a vision, you can make it happen. That hotel actually had a climbing wall up the outside. We took the lifts out. You only could get to it. No, I'm joking, but Element was a business, is a business which is the equivalent of our red letter day for experiences, and we thought there was a gap in the market. The key about this slide is we thought there was a gap in the market to deliver a business around extreme sports experiences, and that business was launched 2 years ago. It'll do about 3 million of turnover. So what is it? It's about our brand as a message. If you're going to set up a business, think about that. It's about our great people and our great partners. It's about finding that point of differentiation, and it's about offering something new and different. And underneath that slide, it says also it's about that great bottom turn in deep, fresh powder, which, part of the sports. Where it's gone wrong, I mean, normally I talk for about 15 minutes on all the other stuff, and then I talk for about half an hour on where it's gone wrong, because it's amazing actually I've really messed it up on a number of occasions, and I don't have enough time to talk about that because it's going to cut off. But I will thank you very much for talking, and thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for Brunel for inviting me.